So in today's video, we're going to make this twisty form, and if you want to download it, the link is in the description. And if you want to learn how this animation was made, let me know in the comments and I'll make a video on that next. So let's get started. First of all, what we need to do is turn on the screencast. I've turned on the screencaster, let's test it. After that, I pressed Shift and added a torus. After adding the torus, let's go to the torus options below. There is no need for us to change the segments at all, we just need to reduce the radius a little bit. Now that the radius is successfully reduced, we need to select its face. Go ahead and press Ctrl+R on your keyboard, then immediately after that, press the X key. After pressing X, we have effectively deleted it. Now, press the Tab key to switch modes, and after pressing Tab, press H and carefully select this specific edge. Finally, come around to the front view to see the result. For extrude, press X. That's enough up to here, so now we need to press S. And now G and Z. Now let's look at it again. Z. That's done, then E and S. Leave the Z-axis right here for now, and take a look at this face. See here, this area is completely hollow. So, after selecting the face, we need to use the grid fill tool. This specific step will ensure that the grid inside it is formed properly. And from here, we need to add multiple edge loops to the geometry. Press the Ctrl key plus R to bring up the loop cut tool, and if you scroll your mouse wheel, the number of loops will increase. For example, in this case, we have added 2 loops. Okay, now what do we need to do next? I pressed the S key for scaling, and immediately after pressing S, I pressed Z so that we can slightly adjust the height along the vertical axis. Alright, now here we have to do the same, S and Z. Right over here, we finished it, and the exact same thing needs to be done here as well. Now come here and press Ctrl B. This much is enough. This is done. After this, we also need to add 12 loops here. This is done. One of our tasks is complete. After that, we right-clicked and selected Shade Auto Smooth. And this character that I have placed here is for scaling. That should be set to 1 for us, Control. Whatever editing we have done to it. If we decide to add anything else to this model, the modifiers will continue to work accurately. However, if we make any manual edits, the specific origin point or the overall scaling changes significantly, and then our modifiers simply can't function properly anymore. That is exactly why we must apply the transformation and reset everything back to 0. Like, we have carefully smoothed it out from this point here, well above the standard default value. We have added the subdivision surface. It looks fine now after this. Now we need to add one more modifier again. Here comes the mirror, and this is the Z-axis. That's done. Now we don't need this anymore, so we've deleted it. Now we need to add a circle to our scene. After successfully adding the circle, we will go ahead and set the number of vertices to 10 right here. And then pressing Shift plus H means that absolutely everything except for the currently selected object will be hidden from view. We hit the Tab key, proceeded to add some vertices, and then removed the specific vertex that we had selected. There we go, the movement is finished now. Now, look over here on the left-hand side at the top. That is where you will find the spin tool, Giyu. We need to rotate the spin tool, or if you prefer, you can just do it randomly. It doesn't matter much. And right here, see, the Use Duplicate option has appeared. In just 1 second, the screencast location changes. Okay, that part is done. Now, for this next step, we need exactly 5 segments, and what we have to do is divide 360 by 6. Remember, 360 degrees is the full circle in case you don't remember that. We need to divide it. Done. Now, for the 60 degrees, which is our full circle calculation, we need to multiply it within the circle. Don't get caught up in the complications. Just watch what I'm doing and you will understand. Now, see, everything is even. Now, let's see what we did next. We went into object mode, or rather, we selected all. After selecting, look here at the top, individual origins. You need to select this. Now, when you scale, all the vertices will scale around their own origins and not otherwise. See, this has been added. Now, what do we need to do? We've already made the selection. Press M, then M by distance, and keep adding to it. Any vertices that are overlapping will merge together, and those two vertices will be counted as one partition. We've done this in object mode. All right then, that is all finished now. Now, you might be wondering exactly why I am taking the time to do this. The primary reason is to ensure that our overall alignment stays perfectly within the boundaries of the columns we have established. To achieve this level of precision, we carefully held down the Shift key on the keyboard and then proceeded to select each of the individual vertices accordingly to maintain the correct structural integrity of the model. That's done. Now, inside this, for the vertical alignment, we need to add loops. We've added as many loops as possible, and then pressed escape. So now, what's next? It says simple here. You need to click on it. Let me see. Our geometry is getting messed up right now. Why? Because our rotation isn't correct. We need to rotate it in the Z direction, set it to 360 plus 1. Look at this. It's done. Now we right-clicked. Then after that, we added it. Subdivision surface. After that, what do we need to do? Select the edges on both sides of the top. Now go to the top. Right-click, and this is the loop tool. After we selected it, we made the shape into a perfect circle. Now, what exactly does this loop tool do? As you can see, the outer part of the mesh has been made completely circular. Simply hold down the Alt key to select everything. Now, look at the screen. Our model is ready.